God, all this shit.
Torin. Shit, man. I feel like teary-eyed too, and it's not sadness because, like, you know, I left, went off to college last year, and it's like, you know, I'm not even gonna be here, but like, I'm thinking it's just like kind of sitting in how much I fucking care about you. Like, I feel emotion coming up, so I'm just like, shit, like, God, I just love you, man. Like everything that you are is just like, just incredible to me, and mixed in with that is this just like genuine like fucking excitement, like having, you know, being in the men's group while you were going through like figuring out grad school and all this shit, and it's like you're doing it, like, and I'm so fucking excited. Like, you're going off to Wake Forest, and I'm just like, yeah, like, that blisses me out, and I can't wait to hear what comes from that. Oh, but, man, it's like, I don't even know, like, words, like, I can't even, like, bring words to, like, who you are to me. Like, it's been touched on from a lot of people of just these key parts of this excitement and this energy and this, like, just, like, the biggest fucking heart, dude, like, just see it like beaming through everything, every part of you, and how I feel like every person that I see you meet, I feel like you immediately see them for their beauty and their natural gifts. And like every person you've introduced me to, you're like, hey, so-and-so, this is Aiden. Aiden is really good at this, and he's wonderful at this. Aiden, this is so-and-so, and they're amazing at this. You're awesome people. Discuss. And you're like, and I'm just like, you set me up and you like build me up before I even like say a single word to this person, and then they're like, wow, you sound cool, and I'm like, yeah, you do too. No pressure. It's just like I just love how just how you see people and how I see you interact with life, and the excitement and the love that comes through everything you do, even when it is like, you know, joking or humor, like shit, like I've laughed out loud numerous times thinking about you being like, take me to Mr. Austin's house.
That's my phone.
Cracks me up.
Take me home, serious. 5 directions to Mr. Austin.
That cracks me up.
Siri knows what's up, man. Siri knows what's up.
That must be different for a guy.
No, not really.
I got that from Andrew.
Wait, what? In his brothel, did you say? Okay.
There's another story right now.
But anyways, Torin, like, again, like everyone said, man, I feel like I could just go on and on and on, and I just can't tell you how just lucky and fucking blissed out I am that you're in my life. And I, you know, I can't see you not in my life, and that's like just amazing. Like to know that you're my brother and that like you're here for me and that I fucking will show up for you in whatever you need, like that just feels so natural and of course, but like so solid too. Like I just feel okay knowing that like you're in my life.
I feel real lucky having you in my life, baby.
Well, thank you, but we're just like just love on you. And thank you.
So good.
But like, yeah, man. And another thing, like, I just feel inspired to show up in my life. Just picturing you. Like, picturing you and your, like, zest and excitement for, like, what you do. Like, when I show up and I'm feeling a little bit hesitant or something, like, I think about, like, you introducing me to somebody, and I'm like, oh, shit, I am awesome. And I know I'm awesome because I can picture Torin telling me I'm awesome. Like, and so I can bring that energy just from, like, thinking about your energy. And the reason, again, why all that energy is so fucking powerful is it's your heart, man. It's not just, like, you know, outgoing energy. It's just, like, this rooted depth of, like, beauty. And being with you in HOP and everything, it's like, again, it's what Angel kind of spoke to. There's this like excitement of bringing everyone together and then just like dropping in and like being with people. And then when that wraps up, being able to be right there again with them, to be like joking around and playing, but from the hearts that are in place. Shit, man, I could keep going. I think I'm good there. Like, I hope I get more opportunities to share impact because, damn, man, love you.
There we go. Come on. Actually, now what?
I'll go.
Alright, so I don't really know like too much. I was a little hesitant about how to do this, but I'm just gonna say what I want to say. So, first off, Torin's one of the best people I've ever met in my entire life, and has been there for me my entire life. He's a lot worse at Street Fighter than he thinks he is. But he's really good at a lot of things that matter a lot more. I want to say how I met Torin. I was obsessed with Legend of Zelda when it was on Nintendo, the little gold cartridge, and they were coming out on Super Nintendo, and like I called Macy's every day, when's it coming out, right? And my parents were like, well, you gotta play it first, you can't just have it. So then I heard through another really good friend of ours, Sean T, who said, oh, this dude has the game. So I was like, fuck it, I can play it, and then get it. So I went on the box full recorder, and I saw Torin. And I'm like, we're on the line, you know, we're like shoved up against the chain link fence. And I'm like, yo, I heard you got fucking Zelda, what's up? And he's like, yeah, I do. I'm like, yo, can I come over sometime and play? He's like, yeah, sure, why not? So that's how we established our friendship. I think he brought Zelda to my house and we played it for a bit, and then it went to, when are we going to hang out again? And it's like, why don't we have a sleepover? Because that was the cool shit to do back in the day. And so yeah, we have a sleepover, and I come over to Torin's house, and I walk in, and on the TV is Sim City on Super Nintendo, and there's this guy right here. Who, I don't think I knew his name for 6 or 7 hours after that, because that's all he did, was play Sim City. And through that night, we went through a bunch of D&D manuals, and at, what were we, 8, 9, and maybe less than that, I don't know. But through my life, Torin has always been this center, and I'm not going to say a rock, because a rock doesn't move, but this hardcore ideal of, I feel that Torin has, for me, has always been something that I can go to and helps me understand life in a way, because he's been so well and proportionate in everything that when I see him and talk to him, I know that what he's responding to is true, it's natural, and it's real. It doesn't necessarily go into any specific aside, it's like right there. And through the years, growing up, you know, when Torin moved and just coming back and just always creating that area in which we could always come back to and be together. And then when we moved down here, and you know, it's so easy for him too to flip and say, you know, I'm coming to you too. And the trust there is just something that is just so natural and so like beautiful and freeing. Like time, nothing matters when we're talking. Nothing else matters. There could be a million things going on in my life. But when we're in a discussion about something, that's the only thing that exists, and it feels like peace. I don't know if I'm making any sense, but it's home, you know? And it's always going to be there. And, you know, I know whenever I need anything, you're going to be there for me. And I'm going to be there for you. And you've been there a lot more for me that I needed than, you know, you might have needed for me, but it's there. And you're going to go away for 2 years to a place 2 hours away, and we're going to hang out, and you're going to experience all this cool stuff, and it's going to be great, and nothing's going to be any different, and you're going to be successful like you always have been. And it's a beautiful thing, because it's like, I'm not saying it's something to look up to, but it's something to be really proud of in a friendship, in a friend. And that's what's up. Like, yeah, like if you become a senator or we start our own, you know, you have that mind. You have that mind to do these things. And I'm not saying that I'm an accessory, but when we come together, it creates something that's just like nothing else I can imagine in the world. So, okay. Yeah.
Pizza out somebody's pizza.
Yeah, that's fine.
Oh, okay.
Not your pizza's there.
Yeah, thank you.
That's brass.
All right, so my turn. What I would say is, when I think about you, Torin, the image or the representation that comes to my mind is there was a time that we were at Crompton's house, way back in the day, when Crompton still lived in the second floor, his second floor room. I don't know what happened, but somehow you and I got into a heated discussion. And it ended up that you and I wrestled. Anyone that knows Torin knows I lost. Look at Torin, look at me. It was a little embarrassing that I lost.
You climbed up here. Don't let the size difference. It's like, get off me.
Exactly. So I went storming out of Crompton's house that day. And there's a reason why that experience is with me to this day. What I've learned in my friendship with you is that you and I both could go down the rabbit hole of analyzing and thinking and breaking down and and we can talk forever and everything like that. That was a time where you and I bring different things to the table, and that was a time where our different ways of thinking clashed. But you were honest, I was honest, we fought, we moved on, we're here now 20 years later. Whenever I engage in conversation with you, I know I can always pull back the curtain and allow my true self to come through with any questions. I don't have to worry, is he going to take this the wrong ways? He's not going to understand where I'm really coming from. And that's nice. You know, there's very few people throughout the course of your life where you can really just be yourself. You can, and you can even experiment. I don't know who I am, so let me experiment. And this is someone I can trust experimenting with, and that's something you have always been for me, and something I've always appreciated about our friendship and our conversations. And the older I get, the more I realize how special a dynamic that really is. So that's what I appreciate about you.
Mark?
Torin. Man, I couldn't agree more with what everybody said here. And, you know, a huge part of me wishes that we had more time together over these past, it's probably been about 2 years since we've known each other. The first time I met you was at Adriel's birthday party. And I just remember, I don't even remember getting your name or anything. I just remember that all of a sudden this dude came in, kind of like a hurricane, seemed to know everybody. Had some story about a girl that he was either dating at the party or needed to leave to go get another girl to bring her back or something like that. Like there was a couple girls that I think he was juggling at the time or something. And I couldn't tell whether like I really liked the guy or like I didn't want to see him again. He seemed to have it going on, but somehow I felt like I missed out. Like somebody there was a joke that was being told that I missed out on because everybody seemed to know who Torin was. And so after that, man, getting to know you has been amazing. And you know, the men's group is definitely going to have a hole there for the compassion and the heart that you bring in it. And you know, when we were at AMP and went jogging in that morning, I mean, for as simple of a time that is, like I remember that. And you know, and leaving there, we had all these grand plans on having these. You know, having like a business or some sort of, basically just getting together and helping people, you know, with the same type of situations that we were facing, and it was I always enjoyed having our conversations, and just there's always like a bright light at the end of the tunnel with them, you know, and I've always really enjoyed just being around you, whether you and I are speaking or not. Just having you in the room has been great, you know. And even this past weekend, one of the first things I said when I walk in is Torin coming? And I think Mike said, no, he's not coming this weekend. And so I was a little bummed about that. But, man, I'm really excited for you. And I think somebody else was saying, like, who knows what is at the other end of this 2 years and, like, the impact you'll have even at the school. But, man, it's going to be huge. And I'm really, really excited for you. So I'm glad we've met. And I'm looking forward to what's on the other end of it, and even connecting with you more. Whether it's these next 2 years or in the future, somewhere I will track you down and, you know, and get in there with you too. So I appreciate it, man. Love you.
Aaron, do you want to take the camera? Where's the